And up next, we have another accomplished alumnus with us, Mr. Tarun Agarwal from the batch of 89. Very good morning to you, sir. We are pleased to have you here with us.
Yeah, thanks, Suman. I was actually there with the session that Ashu was presenting. It's an awesome session, and I'm actually a bit overwhelmed, and in the sense that we had a very nice session from Archie, and I don't know whether I'll be up to the expectation or not. In any case, I'll always give it a try because being an entrepreneur, you keep trying and you keep learning. So let me start with. Can you give me the share? I would like to.
I think you are the co-host, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, if you could just give me 2 minutes to just introduce you to the students.
Yeah. Sure.
Sure. So sir is a technology enthusiast and he's known for his people management skill. And over a course of 30 plus years in the industry as director of Path Infotech, he has looked up to as a visionary leader and a great mentor. He is held in high esteem both by his peers as well as juniors. Post his MCA at IMT, he has held several positions in the industry as developer, project leader, instructor, even a DBA, before establishing Path Infotech in 1991 along with his three friends. So Tarun sir is always eager to learn about new things and encourages the same spirit in others too. And as shared by him, a popular adage by Alvin Toffler, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Sir, we have the batch of 23 waiting for you. I request you to take over. Just one request I would also like to forward to the students. Please address the questions to everyone so that we can just take them forward to the speaker. Yes, thank you, sir.
Uh, Samantha, is the presentation visible?
Yes, sir, it is.
Is it one single screen or are you also seeing the next slide screen?
I'm not seeing it as a slideshow presentation. Like I can see the toolbar and everything, but it is visible as.
Okay, fair enough. So, good morning, friends, and good morning, the future of India. So, I represent the 1989 batch, joined in 1986, and ours was the first batch at IMT. So, we founded a company by the name of Path Consultants to start with, but in today's time, it is Path Infotech. So, uh, on yeah, exactly 30 years we completed on 3rd of July. And that's the journey that I would like to share with you. And hopefully that my experience for the last 35 years, if I start with 1986, it's almost 34 years now, or maybe 35 years of interaction. But actually, it's much more than that. So just to start, this is the first batch. So this, that's a favorable photograph at IMT, and we have around 24 out of 27 of our batchmates in the picture. So we actually have one of a very dear friend of mine, Shabankar Ray, also in the picture, who passed away around a month back due to COVID. He's there in the red sweater, third from the left, and we also have one of our professors who used to teach us compiler design, sitting in the front. At least 10 out of this batch are settled in US and Canada. Two of us are actually in India. And a lot of us, myself, Ashish, and there's another person, Hitesh, and then we have got Rajiv Anand, Piyush Kannan, like we all are entrepreneurs. Another set of another two friends started an entrepreneur journey, again in the tech space. So we're glad to be part of the first batch. but really inspiring and very. Rather, the time that we spent together at IMT was, I think, the best time of our life. Every one of us were young. We were looking into a new technology or a new area altogether. Computers were just beginning to actually take shape. The technology was beginning to take shape in India. It was an awesome time. All of us in the first batch are connected today in our WhatsApp group. We meet often. All 27 are connected as of today. So that's a power of the technology today. But just to share what brought us together. So this is the ad of 2nd April 1986, The Truth. This ad in, I think, probably Times of India or in the Sun Times. I was there in Ramdas College in Delhi University, and I happened to see this ad, the first ad from IMT, and I still have the copy of this ad. That's how I was able to come for today's session. So, 2nd April 1986, the ad actually gave us all uh, a reason to be together. And this is what brought us together. And I don't know, it's chance of luck or whatever you can call it. The ad was published, if I remember it correctly, on 2nd April. And fortunately for me, I'm married, and my wife's birthday is 2nd of April. So I don't know whether two of them are related or not. But this is what the astrology or the fortune or whatever, if you guys believe in, it is there. That's the truth. Let me now take you through my progression from school to what path is today. So I am from Dehradun, and I did my schooling in 1975 to 1982. So I actually skipped the earlier years from 69 to 74, multiple schools there. But longest inning that I actually had was at Cameron Hall, Dehradun, and Cameron Hall has been known for ages to produce army veterans. Vipin Rawat is from Cameron Hall. A lot of army veterans are from Cameron Hall because we are into the heart of the cantonment area in Dehradun. And I graduated with science as a stream and in 1982. Then, as luck would have been, joined Delhi University and Ramdas College in a program called as BSc Honors Mathematics. So being a Agarwal, a Banya for the sake of it, I think some of the majority of us are good at maths. So I took up maths honors. I was okay, mediocre student. First year was very good for me. Second year I almost flunked. Third year I tried to make or break. Fourth year, I joined MSc Mathematics Honors because I couldn't get into any of the MBAs or MCAs. And I think it was by destiny that I was supposed to wait for one more year to actually get into IMT. So both my college days and the IMT days, altogether 7 years, have been very instrumental in making what I am today. Uh, the foundation was laid at Ramjas College in terms of socializing, in terms of um, I'll say what the hostel is all about, what the friends are all about, and IMT really groomed me from day one because IMT is where I found my mojo. I'll really say where I found myself because I have been all throughout a mediocre, but IMT actually catapulted me or made me rise to the top of the league, especially from an academics perspective, and fortunately scoring the highest in the batch. This also gave me a platform to do internship at CDOT, Center for Development of Telematics. And being a technology guy, I really like the way CDOT works for 6 months there at Chanakyapuri CDOT office and was part of the telephone PPPX switch or the switch that they developed for landlines. And I was part of a team which was actually doing real-time patching or real-time software update of the telephone switch, which is almost similar to the updates that you get for the phones today or the app updates that you get to the phones today. The difference was that you don't need to bring down the entire telecom infrastructure to update a software or upgrade a software, it needs to be done in real time without changing or without shutting down the system. So that's a real-time software update piece that we wrote at that time. And I was very fortunate enough from IMT perspective again is that I was the only person placed through campus placement in TCS. And just imagine a technology guy getting placed into TCS was like meeting Bill Gates or was like meeting Steve Jobs. It was the, I'll say, one of the best moments in my life where I got selected and I was actually part of TCS. But destiny was something different. So when I joined TCS, I was actually at Chennai in the Cathedral Road office and was part of the mainframe team. And mainframe at that time was pretty expensive. IBM, I think it was IBM 3090 or something, and DB2 as a database. And I actually really worked very hard at TCS. But as luck would happen, or the destiny would happen, four of us, we thought that why don't we actually start something of our own? And I, being from a business background, my father was into business. He was into construction business and into powerhouses and power dams and all those in Uttarakhand. And actually, it was Uttar Pradesh during those days. But I didn't want to join, as Arshi also mentioned. The kids today don't want to join your business. Similarly, I didn't want to join my father's business, and I wanted to become a technology guy. So we all thought, let's actually do something about it, and that's where I left TCS in 1990 in the month of July and came back to Ghaziabad. Joined IMT as a visiting faculty in 1990. I actually taught a couple of batches at IMT in operation research, modern algebra, because mathematics was my forte, and I think system management design. Couple of so for 2 semesters, I taught at 2 or 3 semesters, rather I'll say I taught at IMT Ghaziabad as a visiting faculty because that gave me some pocket money to keep me afloat. So in 1990, we actually thought of starting Path, and we actually started Path as a proprietary company. And uh, so two partners are, we were four, Pankaj, Ashish, myself, and another was Hitesh. So if you look at the first initials of all our names is the acronym which is Path. So Pankaj, Ashish, Tarun, and Nitesh. And anybody who's a technology guy or a little bit of technology that you know today will know that Path is a variable, whether it is on a Unix environment, whether it's on a Windows environment. If you don't set the variable path correctly, none of your software will actually work. So it's by sheer coincidence that things actually happened and the name actually came up. Uh, so, but as of today, we are three, and Hitesh actually left us at 1994. Since 1994 onwards, we are three, and all of us are IMTNs. Ashish, myself, and Hitesh are from the batch of 89. Pankaj is back from the batch of 1990. So that's about from a founder's perspective. Very quick introduction on what the company is. We are a technology solution provider founded in, when I say founded in 1991, it's because we registered the company as a private limited company in 1991. That's 3rd of July. We recently completed 30 years this year. We have got offices in US, Australia, Singapore, and India. Today, we almost do a 30 million US dollar revenue, 500 plus employees. 150 plus services customer. We have another 250 plus license and renewal customers in India. Obviously, like most of the IT companies, we have a global delivery model where services mixed of hybrid, on-site, off-site, shared services model. From a certification perspective, standards, we follow ISO 9000, and from a software delivery perspective, we follow CMMI level 3. We recently got appraised on CMMI level 3. That was a reappraisal last month, and we were successful in that. We also have best of security policies in place. We follow ISMS 27001 as a security and LCC services compliance perspective. From partnering, most of it, because since we are from a technology background on a technology company, you'll find most of our partners are from the same space. So we partner with Amazon, we partner with Oracle, Microsoft. Nutanix is a hyper-converged partner we have. There are a couple of other, I'll say, specialist or companies like CloneTab and Opti. So that's a partnering space, but this is what actually is the core foundation of Path Infotech as of today. That's how we evolved and what we are today. I'll now take you through a very small slide, probably the last slide from my introduction perspective from the company. So that gives you a brief overview of the recommendation and have developed over the past couple of years. So we started in 1994, 1991 to 1994 was the seeding part, the learning, the anxiety, and how and what needs to be done. So from a seeding perspective, all of us actually pulled in 10,000 rupees each, and we bought our first computer and a printer. I think we paid 66,000 rupees for a computer and a printer. So you'll be surprised, the computer had a 2 MB of RAM and 20 MB of hard disk. Microsoft DOS operating system. So those days, Fox Pro and DBase 3 were the database management software on which you actually used to develop applications, and even Microsoft GW Basic was also there. So 66,000 of investment in 1990, I would say, for one computer is what we started with. We learned a lot. My journey or my stint with TCS actually gave us a huge, I'll say, experience and knowledge on relational databases, and that's where we got exposed to DB2 and Oracle as a software product. So we started with our first project on Oracle in India. She was mentioning about Hero Cycles. Our first customer was Hero Motors in Ghaziabad. So we developed an Oracle-based, I think it was a billing system, a very small billing system, which we developed for Hero Motors in Ghaziabad in 1990. And that's where we picked up the skills on Oracle technology and started moving ahead. 94 was a year where it was a go or no go decision types, because we were not doing very good. Our revenues were very, I'll say, minute. I will not say they were not negligible. So I was married. One of our other colleagues got married. We were not having sufficient of money or sufficient money in the bank or cash flow. What Rashi was also mentioning. We thought, okay, let's wind up. So 31st March 1994, we said, okay, let's move towards job and let's wind up. That's when one of us actually parted ways in the month of March 94. But as luck would have been, I think again, 1st of April in 1994, we got City Group as one of our customer, and then it was never. We started with one engagement. I became an Oracle DBA for Citigroup in Delhi at Barakhamba Road, and from one engagement to almost 15 in 6 months with Citi, and that's where the entire journey again restarted, and that's what we are today. So from a relationship perspective, since 94 to 2014, Citibank worldwide has been one of our. 2014 they had these vendor consolidation, so we actually exited from that business, but we acquired huge amount of I'll say customer base, especially in the first 6 years. Companies like Canon, Deutsche Bank, Oracle is one of our biggest customers, EXL Services, Kotak Life Insurance, LG was one of our biggest customers, and Going forward, we had multiple customers from other geographies like Daiwa, we have from Singapore, Daiwa Securities. We have got Nomura, we have got GE, we have got Indian Oil as the biggest customer from a revenue perspective even today. Then we acquired a lot of media companies like Star. For 4 5 years, Star entire business was done on our IP platform. Then over the last couple of years, we developed certain IPs. Within CRM is one of our service IP platform. After 360 is a performance management or an HR application where you can do performance appraisal. You will be able to actually do the appraisal offline and an online mode through After 360. Then we recently in COVID time, we developed an application called a 24/7 time for remote management of people from their laptops and desktops. So that's the basic journey that we actually over a year did. And as of today, we have got very large logos in our kitty. One of the key aspects to all of you is please invest in relationships. We have got customers who are with us for the last 20 years. Oracle has been with us for the last 25, 26 years. We have been Oracle partners since 1994, both as a customer and as well as a supplier, because we sell a lot of Oracle licenses. So one of the key things and the key learning as a part of this journey to all of you is invest in relationships. And whether it is good or bad, you have to commit yourself to the relationship. Is what keeps um, your growth. It also keeps the growth of the organization with whom you work for. So I think that's the most important learning that I have as a part of my entrepreneur journey at Path. And the last slide from an organization perspective is a couple of awards. Rather, last week we were the channel companies and into we were awarded that. Couple of accolades from IT fraternity like Microsoft as well as Oracle. We get a lot of recognition, especially in the media as of today, and I think that keeps the momentum really well. Now, coming from an entrepreneur perspective, what it takes. Typically, as you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, so you have to do really hard work. And it's hard work. It is really hard work. I still remember that we all used to work almost 18 to 19 hours or even 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that the more we work, the more revenue we are going to get in. It's actually from an IT perspective, either you are into the IP or a product space or you are into the service space. And the services revenue is directly linked to the amount of hours you spend, and you actually get paid by the hour. So there are two things that we actually invested very heavily earlier is to learn the technologies and always keep trying. So there was never give up kind of an attitude like I can't do this was not there. So if there's a request from a customer, we'll explore, we'll identify, we'll do research on that, and then we'll go back to the customer from a solution perspective. So hard work is the essence. And when I say hard work, in today's time, I would definitely like to share that yes, we did hard work. We were slogged almost 24/7, but you need to definitely have a work-life balance also, which we missed. That's a negative side of it, but we missed. But work-life balance is very important because later in the life, the health actually takes a toll. And every day you need to really look at what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and where you want to reach in future. So that is the most important aspect that, and you won't get a success immediately. It's not like a lottery. It's not like a casino. You won't get a success overnight. Your hard work will actually play. So I was giving you an example or the story about city that we acquired in 94. So what happened was in the last previous years, we used to do a lot of work and we used to do a lot of free work for companies in India, IT companies in India. So it just happened that we did a Oracle training for one of the large system integrators in India. And then these people, and it was free. It was a 3-day workshop that we did for a financial company in Nehru Place, and it was a free training that we gave. And those sales guys are the people there who was heading the services business for that company, introduced us to somebody at Citigroup, and that's how the relationship. So, and you'll be surprised, all those relationships which we built since 91 till today are active with us, whether it's at personal level, whether it is at professional level. I think that's what makes an individual stand out in the crowd. So the hard work really paid way. We had our first office in east of Kailash, Santnagar. Then we laid the foundation in Noida. Construction began in 2005, and around 2006 we had 3 floors working, and now as of today we have got 5 floors working. That's the basic uh, from a physical infrastructure perspective, but lot of toil, lot of work, lot of hard work, not from the founders, but from the team itself, have actually gone into what we are today. Couple of traits that I learned as a part of entrepreneurship journey is consistency. There are no shortcuts. We have to earn the money. We have to earn that dollar that we want to, that we bring it into the kitty. So don't get swayed by something which is looking very good. Probably it is. That's how most of the branding is actually done today. But you have to really go into the detail about the product. You need to go into detail about the services that you're going to offer. And just because it is too good, don't get trapped into it. You have to be absolutely perfect on what you need to do. So that's one, no shortcuts. Work, dedicate yourself, and absolutely be committed to what it takes to make it happen. From a corporate perspective, is that there are two type of customers, both internal and externals. When I say internal, it is the entire team, the entire employees that you have. And when I say employees, employees are not the one who are on your payroll. There are a lot of people who you will outsource. There will be consultants. There will be contract to hire people. Uh, all these are internal customers, okay? And obviously you've got external customers. So I have put the word customer here, but I think we really looked from a perspective of relationship. Whether it is a customer, it's a relationship that you are creating. If it is an employee, it's a relationship that you are creating. So you need to really be customer centric, whether it is internal, whether it is external. So in an organization to grow, you can't ignore any of them. And you can't even ignore yourself. As an entrepreneur, I can't ignore myself. As an entrepreneur, I cannot ignore my second in command or my leadership team or my management team or my the lowest people in the hierarchy would be I would call them actually the pinners, the people who actually look after the office, the admin guys who open the office daily, close, do the cleaning. Uh, they are the pillars of the organization because 100% trust actually is on them because they take care of the office, they take care of the space, they take care of everything which makes this entire organization or this machinery work. So internal customers and external customers are very important. You have to invest in them. So whether it is product, whether it is services, whether it is brand positioning, both you need to really work very hard. And most important of this is communication. Please be communicative. Each one of you, you're joining first batch at IMT or this year, a freshers batch, you have to be communicative. You have to learn the art of communication. When I say learn the art of communication, it could be visual, it could be written, it could be presentation skills, it could be articulation skills. You have to learn that. And communication plays the most important role in building relationships. So please invest in communication. Please invest in approach, policies, the culture. As Ashi was mentioning, every entrepreneur should look at the policies and culture which is there within the organization, and all these policies, the culture, the vision, and approach should align with the internal customers and maximizing the profits or maximizing the returns for the external customers. I think that's the most important thing that we need to really look at. The next part is actually leadership. I think uh, from a leadership perspective, you need to inspire. You need to really motivate your team. Okay, you don't need to dominate. There are lots of cases you hear and you read about where within the peer group or within the same level, you will find somebody dominating over others. Okay, please do not do that, because that brings a whole amount of negativity within the team, within the organization. You need to build the trust. You need to solve each other's problem, each other's issues. Don't intimidate anyone within your peers or within your groups or within your team. And you need to take the leadership role. You need to lead them and led by them. So sometimes the smallest or the youngest person within the team can provide you great insights into how a project or how a services or how a branding can be done. It is not if it's not the youngest. If he don't ignore, don't intimidate that person within the team that you are the youngest. How you don't understand how the business runs. You don't understand how a branding is done. You have to be cohesive. You have to create a team, the entire team. When you are creating a team, you have to take the team together. When you are part of the team, you have to be cohesive and you have to be communicative and you have to inspire. I think teamwork is the best thing to do. As an individual, I probably can just do, let's say, I can earn money by selling myself or by providing my services to the end customer. It is the team which will multiply that money. It is a teamwork which will actually grow the revenues. It is a teamwork which will make you more reachable to the end customers. I think that's the most important part from a leadership perspective. And obviously, growth is never by a chance. It is the result of forces working together. So the team is actually what makes any organization click. The team is what makes an organization grow. The team is what is actually the face of the organization. So this is very important. Okay. So you can't just say that I grew because I got lucky. No, it is a hard work put in by a lot of your uh, the entire ecosystem, and even some external, let's say, people would have contributed to your growth by training you, by providing you insights. So it's actually together that you need to really. Last but not the least, time. I think we all ignore time. This is the most important. Uh, when you are planning today, when you are actually doing the course at IMT, I think you need to really learn the skills of time management. Never be late for a meeting. Never be ignorant about somebody else's time. I hear a lot of stories where I go for meeting, customer meetings, and we are the meeting is supposed to start at 11, and typically, oh no, the boss is busy, the people are busy, we need to wait typically an hour, 2 hours, even more. I think that's one of the worst thing that can happen in any professional or even a personal setup. Even in your personal life, if you ask somebody to wait, I think that is really bad thing to do. So be stringent with your time, because time is one thing which we value. We think that uh, I, if I had another 24 hours, I would be able to do something more. But there are no extra 24 hours in a day. It's only just simple 24 hours. So you need to really value and the time. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. So when I say don't waste it, you don't need to utilize the time only for productive gain. You don't need to utilize your time only for, let's say, you want to learn something. You can utilize that particular time for your self healing. You can utilize that particular time slot for your health. You can utilize it for your family. So you need to plan. Any investment done in yourself, in your health, in your learning, in your family is is not a waste. So invest in yourself, invest your time properly, uh, prioritize the uses of time. I think that will make you a perfect person, and that will also guide you from a I'll say mm, um, uh, uh, committed individual. It will also make you a very um, a desirable individual from within the organization, because people will today and will always value the essence of time. So time is one of the most important thing that you need to really work with. Another very important quote most of the time you would see is pick your battles wisely. I think this is really very important from a perspective of prioritizing things, from a perspective of whether you want to go for higher education, whether you want to invest in something you want to which will benefit your career, whether you would like to work in an organization which can give you growth both from a professional and a financial perspective. But you need to really pick your battles wisely. So in today's world, working for a startup or working for an established company, working for a small medium enterprises, I think you really need to really look at how you would like to invest your time and your effort in whatever direction or whatever. I happened to go through the recording of Koshal, and very interesting thing that he actually articulated was that as an individual, if you are working for any organization, you are being paid for planning, you are being paid for execution of that plan or operationalizing the plan. You are also being paid or not paid for if something goes wrong with your plan. So, and when planning comes, planning is directly linked to time, the efficient time management, efficient monitoring of results, efficiently monitoring of achievements or milestones. All that is very important from a growth perspective, from a, I'll say, from an individual perspective, also from a organization perspective. And that's where I say you need to begin the time management today. Okay. You start your day with time management, you end your day with time management. You should be very particular about what you are going to do tomorrow, day after, or in the next week. Sometimes it may not work the way you have planned, but at least you are clear that what you are going to do or what you are not going to do. So time is absolutely essential. And obviously, the last line from my experience, as Sumant has already shared, this is what I have in my office on my desk itself is uh, there has to be a process of continuous learning or contiguous learning. So continuous and contiguous are synonym, but I still prefer continuous learning. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So you'll be surprised for at least for myself, for the last, I'll say 34, 35 years, or rather since 1982. So that makes it almost 39 years. I am a passionate learner. When I say passionate learner, is even today, I spend at least 4 hours learning new things. I was sharing with other folks at IMT, and even in my peer group, because I'm a technology guy, because I know IT pretty very, I know IT. I'll say okay, well, or a pretty well, that could be a debatable thing. But I have a small data center at home. I have got multiple servers at home. I configure them, and I really work on new technologies like the today's world, like Alexa and Google Home integration, Internet of Things, AI, ML. These are the latest technologies which are there. But yes, you've got security issues coming up. You look into the areas where how you can prevent these ransomwares and all those coming up. So I invest a lot of time in learning about technology, learning about the new age digital landscape which is emerging, and it is giving us a huge opportunity to become entrepreneurs or startups in the technology landscape. So as Arshi also mentioned in the previous, India is poised for a huge leap an entrepreneurial perspective in the technology landscape. And I don't know how many of you had a chance to look at the Mukesh Ambani's article today. I think it is there in Times of India, if I remember correctly. Uh, by 2030 or by 2040, India's startup ecosystem and entrepreneur ecosystem would be almost at $1 trillion. There are tons of opportunity by creating what has been already created outside India. We are the pioneers in creating the products of Apple, products of Microsoft. It is us who are doing it. Why can't we do it in India? So it's a huge landscape. It's a huge opportunity which is there in front of us, and we should definitely look at uh, uh, investing our time and energy and becoming an entrepreneur, some startups. Rather, we already have a lot of success stories which the IMT alumni as well as IMT uh, is actually publishing on LinkedIn, especially about that testing kit that we had. Uh, so there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are from IMT. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who I know who are from other colleges, and it's an amazing journey. Just to share my son, who's 26, he turned 26. In the last 4 years, he's already started three startups and moved on to another. So he's learning the skills of starting a startup, trying to scale it up, but getting some setbacks somewhere. He's already done three startups. The first startup that he did was actually trading pulses. Yeah, the chana dal or all those. He used to buy it from Chandni Chowk and started packaging it in his his own brand name. And then from there he moved to a grocery startup which is a home delivery, almost equivalent to what today big basket types. The setup was almost similar. And then he went into milk distribution, where he did a setup of bottling milk, almost 800 liters a day. So all these three things are diverse, and in parallel, he was also doing a lot of IT related stuff, where he was project managing and health app. He was project managing a lot of shopping carts. So, so the entrepreneurship is something which you need to start, which you need to really think. That's an alternate career path to all of you. Uh, and you need to just keep reading, reskilling yourself, and you'll be successful in future. So that's from me, Sumant, from a content perspective. And I'm now open for questions.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a great learning experience to hear about your entrepreneurial journey. And just one of the questions that I'd like to share with you from the students is right now the IT service market is a crowded market. So how can companies develop clear positioning to stand out?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and it actually really baffles us also as entrepreneurs, because we have been there for the last 30 years into this. So I think you really need to be selective. I'll give you a very classical example. I think the cloud and the SaaS uh, software as a service market is exploding worldwide. So from a services perspective, any service that you can offer on the cloud platform, whether it is Microsoft Cloud, whether it is Google Cloud or Amazon Cloud, I think that would be one area where you really invest yourself, your time. Salesforce is a very good platform to invest there because it's one of the booming SaaS platforms of the world. There are a lot of small medium enterprises softwares or SaaS softwares coming up. That is another area where you can invest. People can actually look at developing platforms for logistics, platform for let's say B2B platforms or B2C platforms can be developed. That's a very huge ecosystem. I think on an average, we are having now one unicorn every quarter in India. These are actually nothing but technology platforms utilizing the power of technology to reach out to the consumers or to the businesses as a whole. So I think there is a huge, huge potential. You'll see in the next 5 years, we'll have almost 100 unicorns from India.
Thank you, sir.